Revelation 1412. From the 10th of May 1940. World events is caused by and is a means to remedy spiritual need. In the realization of the plight of a spiritually sunken mankind, also the world events will be understandable to you, which are both cause and means for the removal of this plight. There is an extraordinary low insofar as no efforts are made by people to prepare themselves for a spiritual life after earthly death. And the consequences of this indifference are not to be foreseen. It is irresponsible for man to not take care of his salvation, because his carelessness causes his spiritual abilities to remain undeveloped, and therefore man lives without being able to register the slightest spiritual progress, and his life is not lived according to purpose. In contrast, a natural balance is offered to the spiritually striving man. He lives his life consciously, and therefore it will also not be without joy, only these joys are shaped differently than those of the earthly striving man. He finds consolation and edification in the divine word, he only now finds the right purpose in life, and he does not lack anything externally, because he does not strive for it. He has inner contentment, he is not frightened by earthly hardship, because he desires other things than earthly goods. Therefore, world events will not affect him to the extent that they disturb his inner peace, rather, these world events will contribute to strengthen his faith. But where there is no such attitude, world events are the cause of complete spiritual decline. Man never wants to acknowledge the spiritual, he sometimes gets in touch with people who know, but only out of self-interest. He only hopes to gain knowledge that he can make good use of on earth, but never considers his soul. He believes to be able to penetrate without previous knowledge and spiritual attitude into an area, which however requires work on oneself and love activity, and this view is erroneous. Because what he now collects in experiences, will never let him reach the goal. He cannot use this good, he lacks the key that unlocks the spiritual realm for him. He receives something he cannot understand and is therefore completely unimpressed by it. But now he will not be able to use what is received, because spiritual good is only understandable if it is striven for by the heart, that is, man makes himself worthy of receiving. Now the misery on earth should awaken in man that urge which strives only for the spiritual. The misery should educate people in such a way that spiritual interest awakens in them and the desire is awakened to educate themselves in spiritual knowledge for the sake of truth. Then this adversity will also be a blessing for people and the spiritual low level will be remedied, because God's only purpose is that man will recognize his earthly task and fulfill it. Amen.